Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 14. It's always darkest before dawn. Okay guys, well this took me by surprise, but this is the season finale. Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere for me. Maybe it's because I'm used to recapping Real Housewives and there's always a lead up to the end, like, you know, a girl's trip or usually there's a big party that everybody attends and you know that that's the finale episode. But, you know, obviously we don't have that kind of thing on this show, so didn't know when it was going to end. I hadn't heard from anybody else, any other of, you know, podcasters or anything that are doing it, that it was ending on episode 14, but here we are. It's ending. Now, that doesn't mean this is the end of our time together because there are 4 tell-all episodes still to come for the next 4 weeks. So I don't know how they came up with 4. I don't know what they're going to talk about for 4 episodes because there isn't a lot that happened during this season, even though it was amazing and wonderful and I loved it. There was not a lot of action or interaction. As I said before, I would love it if Sukanya would talk to all of them at the same time. That doesn't happen. And so it's like 4 one-on-one sit-downs. Now, if I'm going by last year, it isn't like each one of the wives gets an entire hour sit down just to her. It's probably just going to be, we're going to be checking in with all 5 of them, including Cody, in every one of the 4 episodes. So I don't know. We'll see. Will Cody and Robin film together? They should. They're a couple. They're the only couple left. I would like to see that. I would like to see Janelle and Christine sit down with Sukanya together as a couple, as sister wives, you know. But I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think everybody's separate. So anyway, let's get into this episode because I've got a ton of notes and this is going to be a long recap. Side note, before we begin, there is so much chatter out there in the social media about Robin keeping her kids off of that Zoom call, the one where McKelty and Tony were announcing the gender reveal. And, you know, a lot of people were there, almost all of the kids. There was maybe 4 that weren't there. And it really made no sense, given that Robin is constantly talking about how her kids are left out of things. And that, you know, Robin is always fighting. She's just always fighting to keep this family together. She's the only one. She's the only one trying so hard to keep this family together. You know, so given that and, you know, Aurora's hostage video where she reads the ransom letter talking about how great her mom is and what a huge cheerleader her mom is for her dad and the other kids to have a good, healthy connection with one another. Yeah, that's Robin, all right. My theory, Robin has to keep her kids away from seeing the other kids because they might discover that they are loved and wanted. And that does not work for Robin and her image of being a victim and thereby Gypsy Rosing her children into also being victims. Okay, so this last episode here opens with Mary holding her phone at arm's length and filming herself in Parowan, Utah. I would like to shout out my appreciation to Mary for at least straightening her elbow, thereby making it so that her entire head can be in the frame. Because, you know, Janelle taught her, you hold the phone like 2 to 4 inches from your nose and film it like that. But Mary said, you know what? No. Not going to do that, Janelle. If I'm holding the camera right here, no one's going to be able to see my LuLaRoe mock turtle short sleeve tee. So I am going to lock my elbow and watch the sails roll in. I can also appreciate that Mary doesn't feel the need to have like a cute background. No, it's like she was in the middle of like walking upstairs to get something and then just remembered that she had to film for the show and sat down mid-step. Here I am. Let me knock this out. It's just a TV show. I can film it from the middle of the stairs here. So Mary tells us that it's October. And a lot of stuff has been going on. April, it was my and Cody's 32nd wedding anniversary. Oh, dear God, no. No, Mary. You're not going to tell us about the anniversary again, are you? This is now officially going to be more times than McKelty told us she was pregnant with twins. So our anniversary has been interesting for the past few years. Our first anniversary in Flagstaff, he called me and said, let's go for a drive. Let's go to the Grand Canyon. And then they had dinner afterwards. Okay, sounds to me like somebody chickened out at the Grand Canyon. I'm just saying, I don't know for sure. I just know that it sounds like somebody, and I'm not naming names, but somebody got the bright idea that a little slip and fall at the Grand Canyon could look like an accident. Hey, Mayor, let's go for a drive. Let's go to the Grand Canyon. Also, I took out a life insurance policy on you, Mayor. Happy anniversary, Mary. In Mary's confessional, she said, even though we hadn't been living with each other for several years, he said things to me on that date. Yeah, like, are you currently a smoker? Do you have any pre-existing conditions? No, she goes, that led me to believe that he was wanting to start a relationship with me. He literally said, cheers to a new beginning. Now stand over there while I take your picture. Back up a little more. No, back. I remember their 30th anniversary because he came over. She made him Rice Krispie treats. He didn't even come in the house. This must have been COVID. Yeah, because 2 years ago. He didn't come in her house. I don't even know if he was like, why am I here, Mare? So she gives him the Rice Krispie treats, which he loves. And she goes, do you know how many there are? And he's like, I don't know, 20, 24. And he's like, I don't know. And she goes, 30. Do you know why? Because Robin and I have 5 kids. I don't know. He couldn't figure it out. She had to tell him it was one for every year we were married. This is our 30th anniversary. Yeah, he's super romantic, Mary, and I'm sure that was not long after you moved to Flagstaff. So when was the Grand Canyon? Here's to new beginnings. Because I have a feeling his idea was that the new beginnings were separate beginnings. And then Mary goes, so then this year for our anniversary, we're out to dinner. Oh, dear God. God, I hope she tells us what happened at dinner, because I'm dying to know. Maybe it went really well. Maybe he said, I'm moving back in with you full time. You've got a nice big house. I can't wait to find out what happened at this dinner. Well, we're not going to be spared. We are hearing the story yet again, how Mary told Cody that she was very committed to this marriage and to this family. And Cody went all Taylor Swift on her and said, we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together. Ever. Okay, so it's October now, and that was in April. So for the last 6 months, Mary has just been trying to figure things out. Yeah. Lots of directions she could go. Lots of ways to take this. Let's see. She could give up trying to make Cody fall in love with her again, or she could give up trying to make Cody love her again. Yeah, okay, well, I guess it was just the one choice all along. Really didn't need 6 months to figure this out. So she tells us that Cody broke the covenant of their marriage well before the catfishing happened. Well before the catfishing. Yeah, we know, Mary. We know that's why the catfishing happened. If he was attentive to you, you would have been happy. You wouldn't have been seeking attention from somebody else. We get it. If he showed an ounce of affection toward you, you wouldn't have fallen prey to some crazy lady online. Oh, okay. Well, back to Mary's confessional. She said, about a month ago, I saw where Cody said, I don't consider myself married to Mary anymore. So She, just a month ago, must have just been watching the show and seeing Cody's confessionals from last season. Yeah, and she found that vulgar. Both Christine and Janelle are disgusted by the way Cody is stringing Mary along. Christine's like, I find it equally disgusting that Robin is begging her, stay in the family, stay in the family. Like, no, let that girl go. It is hilarious to me how Christine is now us. You know, she's like finally looking at her family from the outside, like we all have been for the first 17 seasons. And now she sees what we have seen all along. So Mary feels like she needs to tell Robin because she's probably the only one that's going to care. Probably. Who else in this entire family do you think would possibly care? Side note, is LuLaRoe selling graduation gowns now? Because what is Mary wearing? Is it symbolic of her graduating from the family? I don't know, but now I'm wondering if LuLaRoe makes the square hat. So Mary wonders if there's any reason to stay in Flagstaff anymore. Oh, God. Mary, let me save you 6 months of thinking about it. The answer is no. No, there's no reason for you to stay in Flagstaff. You didn't really want to move there in the first place. Nobody did. BFF Jen is waiting for you in Parowan. Go toward her. Mary, move toward the light. Okay, now we check in with Christine and Janelle, who are still in Burley, Idaho, visiting with Christine's brothers, her younger brothers, Levi and Steve. And now we are also with Levi's wife's mother, and we're going on a hike. Christine tells us in her confessional, so I left Cody 2 years ago. 2 years ago? I mean, I know the confessionals are filmed more recently, but still. And poor Robin is still wiping her dry eyes trying to figure out what happened. She thought everything was good. Anyway, Christine basically just reiterates how she and Janelle are sister wives, they always will be, and they're always going to raise their kids together. In Cody's confessional, he chuckles at how Christine and Janelle are such good friends now. Because as he remembers it, it was more antagonistic before. He thinks that they're bonding over hating him and Robin. I mean, maybe, but also I don't think Christine and Janelle are thinking about you and Robin nearly as often as you think about them. Now we learn that when Janelle's kids were younger, Janelle went back to school and got her degree. And Christine would help watch her kids for her because she would work all day. And then she was going to school online in the evening. And Christine helped raise the kids. Then we see a picture of her and Cody and their 6 kids. Boy, this was another era of Cody's hair journey, wasn't it? I don't remember this one. It must have been before the show started. Christine did not go to school. The way she was raised was just, the church kind of taught that the world is ending anyway. So, why bother going to school? And then she told her dad that when she came home from church or whatever, she told her dad, and he said, "Oh no, Chris, that's not true. You need to go to college." And she's like, "Okay." So I guess she did go. Then Robin in her confessional tells us that the church always encourages food storage. So it seems like they were kind of like doomsday preppers in a way. Like they always had a giant pantry filled with jarred goods and canned goods and dry goods and, enough for a large family, which they were. In addition to stockpiling all this food, they would have an entire cow butchered. And then they'd have 600 pounds of meat or something that they had to freeze. And all of it was in Christine's garage. So when she left, she's like, "I don't want any of this." So they had to get a storage place because Cody's complaining about how now they have to pay for storage of all of their... Does that sound insane to you? The paying for storage, I mean. That they couldn't just keep... Well... As I'm thinking about it now, of course there was no room at the Cracker Barrel. Not for a whole cow worth of meat. So at this beautiful place that they're going on the hike, Janelle and Christine and her brothers, they had talked about having a family reunion. And she's like, this would be a beautiful place for a family reunion. And we see this picture from Aspen and Mitch's wedding. And this picture is almost the entire family, including spouses of like some of the older kids. So for those of you who do not watch this show and wanted some kind of a visual to sort of keep things straight in your head, I'm going to try and make sense of this picture for everybody here. Okay, so Mary and Mary's family, I've highlighted in yellow. So that's just Mary. And then Mariah, aka Leon, and Audrey, that is Leon's partner. Then Janelle is in orange, and I'll just go like left to right, back row to the front, okay? So we have Logan, that's her oldest son. Then that's his girlfriend, Michelle, who I believe is his wife now. Then Savannah, Gabe, Hunter, and Garrison are on the far right end. And then in the front row is Caleb and Maddie. Caleb is Maddie's husband, and their son Axel. They now have Evie, daughter Evie, and I think they might even have another child right now, but I'm not sure. Okay, then Christine, her family is in green. So again, left to right, we have Isabel, Mitch, and Aspen, the bride and groom, then Christine, and then McKelty and Tony. Tony is McKelty's husband. And then in the front row, there's left to right, Gwendolyn, Peyton, and Peyton is holding Truly on his lap. And then Robin, I have in blue. We've got Brianna, Ariella, who's being held by Mary, Robin, and then in the front row, Aurora, Solomon, and Dayton. And that is pretty much the entire family. Well, before McKelty and Tony obviously had their kids. And like I said, Maddie, I think, has maybe 2 more kids. I know she has a daughter, Evie. So yeah, Cody, all the wives. Mary has 1 kid. Janelle has 6. Christine has 6. And Robin has 5. So I don't know if that was more confusing or less confusing, but if they have another big family picture like that, I'll try to kind of explain who everybody is. But I don't think we're going to ever get a more complete picture than that, because obviously we're not going to get an entire group photo. As much as Janelle talks about it, I don't think any kind of family reunion is really going to happen. Janelle's talking about that reunion, and she said, Robin's kids have become so separated from the rest of the kids. Yeah, you think? They're being gypsy rosed in the basement of a Cracker Barrel. So because of that, she doesn't really think that a reunion will happen. But she's said, according to Janelle, that she just hears from her kids and Christine's kids all the time how much they miss Robin's kids. Well, maybe not Savannah and Brianna. I think there's some bad blood there. But yeah, I really hope that those kids, even though they are in captivity, are able to view some of this, watch some of the show somehow, and know that the other kids love them. Okay, next. This is probably the scene we have all been waiting for because it's been teased 100 million times, but we are out on Coyote Pass with a meeting between Cody, Mary, and Robin. Cody pulls up first on an ATV, so I don't know how close he and Robin's house is to the property, but, he drove this little thing all the way. And he does not have his soulmate on the back. So I am thinking that once again, we are going to be pretending that they don't live together and didn't just kiss as they left the house in separate vehicles, only to wind up in the exact same place. Seems like a waste of gasoline to me. And I really don't know who this is for. You're not fooling any of us at home. You're not fooling Mary. It's just dumb. Anyway, they sit down. It's, there's a little awkward silence at first, and then Cody said, well, Mary, since you want to build on the property, do you want to go walk it? And Robin and Mary are both like, well, hold on. I think we're like skipping a conversation here first. So I will explain this to you guys, but it is confusing and it's pretty confusing to me. So just hang in there with me and I will do my best. The property needs to be paid off before any building can happen. I think everybody is in agreement on that. At least that seems to be the general consensus. But it also needs to be parceled out and divided among the adults who own parts of it. Coyote Pass in its entirety is 14 acres of just, raw land. That's the other thing. I mean, there's nothing out there. They would have to put in plumbing and electricity and everything to make this even livable out here. It just seems like so much money. Anyway, when Christine divorced Cody, she had equity in her house. And so in exchange for letting her sell the house and keep all the profits, she relinquished her claim to owning any part of Coyote Pass. So now we have 14 acres that are owned by 4 people: Cody, Janelle, Mary, and Robin. Okay? So Mary, in her confessional, she said she gave her share to Cody and Robin, I guess. I'm not sure why. I would have assumed that the money used to purchase a down payment on Christine's house and to make the mortgage payments would have been family money earned by, in my opinion, mostly Janelle, Mary, and Cody, I guess. Okay, so now we see a diagram here on the screen of the property divided into 5 lots. This is obviously before Christine left. And Cody is explaining to Mary now that she has a 2-acre lot that she can do what she wants with, build on, whatever. The lot with the pond is for the whole family. That's 2 acres. Now, I've heard from other podcasters and YouTubers that delve into this more that is not really a pond. He keeps acting like it's such an asset to the property, but it's really just this retention thing. And it's nothing that you can swim in it or anything. It's gross and disgusting. So not necessarily a bonus. But whatever. So that was 2 acres. That's lot number 1. Mary has 2 acres. That's lot number 2. And then lot number 3 was Christine's, also 2 acres. The remaining lots are lot 4, which is Janelle's, and lot 5, which is Robin's. Those are each 4-acre lots. It is unclear as to why Robin and Janelle got 4 acres each, and Mary and Christine only got 2 acres each, with Cody getting, this other random 2 acres. But what Cody is telling Mary now is that Christine gave up her right to own any part of Coyote Pass in exchange for the house profit. Yes, we know. And he will acquire Christine's lot. And then he says because of things that are going on in the family, with the kids, he's not going to give any wife the family lot. That's the one with the retention pond. I think he probably means in terms of inheritance. He's not going to give that to any of the wives. So Mary now says, okay, so Christine gave up her 2 acres. Who's going to own that? And he said, I am. And she's like, okay, so you get 4 acres, Robin gets 4 acres, you guys get 8 acres together. And Cody goes, no, it's 2-acre lots and then 4-acre lots. And Mary's like, right, you're going to have 2-acre lots. Robin has a 4-acre lot. That's 8 acres. In Mary's confessional, she's like, I put money into this too. I'm still part of the family. I deserve my fair share. And it's not just what Cody thinks I'm worthy of. Yeah, of course. So, they're sitting at this picnic table and Mary says, I just think it's weird that you 2 get 8 acres, Janelle gets 4, and I get 2. Yeah, it is weird, Mary. And my guess is that LuLaRoe paid for a good portion of the down payment on that property too. And I also think that when Mary had that talk with him at her house that was also so weird, when she noticed his horse ring, remember that day? I also think that when he was doing that whole maybe you could live in the barn dominium, I think he was trying to get her to build on the lot with her LuLaRoe money and that would, benefit him because the barn is where he can store stuff. And yeah, I think he was trying to like trick her into paying for part of his thing too. In any case, like I said from the beginning, it's 14 acres. There are 4 adults that still own a portion of it. 2 of the 4 people are a married couple, Cody and Robin, so they should get half of the 14 acres. That's 7 acres for Robin and Cody, and 7 acres to be split by Janelle and Mary, 3.5 acres each. Done. I solved it for you. I mean, that seems to make sense. And the division is arbitrary, by the way. Nothing has been divided. Nothing's been built on. It's still just 14 acres of land. You can divide it any way you want. So why not divide it equally? It's not like, well, there's 4 acres way over there, and then we don't own this property, and then there's 4 acres. No, it's just a big, giant 14-acre lot. There's only 2 4-acre properties and 3 2-acre properties because you imagined it divided that way, Cody. Nothing's been done yet. You could divide it any way you want. I mean, I suppose you have to have a surveyor come out or somebody, smarter than me who knows what they're doing to decide if there's any portion of the 14 acres that's, you're unable to build on or something like that. But get that all squared away, figure out where the livable part is, and then you divide that evenly and fairly between you and Robin and Janelle and Mary. The reason I say that too is because it really doesn't matter how much Mary put in or Janelle, even though I assume it's probably a lot. We know Robin didn't put in anything. She hasn't worked in a long time. And my sister wife's closet, I mean, that thing's going out of business now anyway. I don't think that was ever like a big moneymaker, just saying. And we know that poor Janelle put a lot of money into Robin's house just so they could buy that house. So the reason I think it should just all be even right now is because it was all pooled money anyway. It was all family money. And that was part of the deal when you married into this plural family. I mean, honestly, they need to sell Coyote Pass. Sell it. Sell the whole thing. Nobody and nobody's kids want to inherit Coyote Pass or any portion of it. I promise you. Everyone has so moved on with their lives. I mean, other than the Cracker Barrel kids, but everyone else has moved on and does not want to live in Flagstaff or on Coyote Pass. And I would even argue to say that Robin is perfectly happy now that she's got the Cracker Barrel exactly the way she wants it to be. That is not going to be an easy move for her. So get somebody out there to assess the value of the property, put it on the market, sell it. Robin and Cody get half of the money. Janelle and Mary each get a quarter of it, and be done. Be done with each other. Shake hands, go your separate ways. And then Cody, oh my God, Cody says something so idiotic, I'm about to lose it. He said, Mary has 1 child, and I have 18. Yeah, and your point? Why on earth would he bring that up now? First of all, one of his 18 children is also Mary's. So you're counting Leon twice in that. That's only one of the things that's wrong with that statement. The other is the kids are adults, and as I said before, they don't want this land. They don't want to inherit it. It would just be a problem. They don't want it. Move on. It's so dumb. This whole thing about you only bore 1 child when Robin gave me 5 and Janelle gave me 6. Christine also gave you 6 kids, yet Christine only has 2 acres. Why is that? That's what I want to know. I don't know. It's just, none of it matters because bringing up how many kids there are is stupid. Half of your kids don't even talk to you, Cody. You don't support any kids other than Robin's 5. Okay, so as Mary's trying to figure this out, and it's clear, I think, to both of them that Mary has a really damn good point, where she's like, you guys together get 8 acres, and Janelle gets 4, and I get 2? So then Robin, decides to try and make a little joke. And she goes, Well, the thing is, Mary, I might not stay with Cody. She gives one of these like, I'm so witty. And then immediately, I'm sorry, honey. It was just a joke. I shouldn't have done that. That was bad. I'm sorry. Oh, God. You look so much more at ease when you're crying than when you're trying to be funny. It's so bizarre to me. In any case, this little joke was said in front of Mary because Robin was trying to make a point. She doesn't like to be lumped in with Cody all the time. Like whatever Cody has, I have, or whatever Cody thinks, I think. Like she's tired of that. Like, yes, her 4 acres is hers, but don't act like Cody's 4 acres is also mine. That's not fair. Except that it is because he's your husband and you are in a monogamous relationship with him. And by the way, it should be pointed out, she is now the only legal wife because Mary, the first wife, who was the only legal wife, divorced Cody in order to let Robin marry him legally so that he could legally adopt Robin's kids. So if or when Robin did leave Cody, she will legally have a right to half of everything that's his, whereas none of these other wives have a right to really anything. Just pointing that out too. And I really do want to know why Robin has 4 acres when we know that she didn't contribute any money to the purchase of Coyote Pass or anything really. All I have ever heard is that Robin came into this family with 3 kids of her own, no job, and a shopping addiction. My sister wife's closet was her idea to have an online jewelry business, which, as I said before, I believe is no longer in business. So again, what is Robin's contribution and what has earned her 4 acres at Coyote Pass? Robin says that her 4 acres, this is about inheritance for the children. Her lot will be passed down to her 5 children. Oh, that'll be fun when that time comes. 4 acres, 5 kids. I hope they all get along. That's not going to be an easy divide. But anyway, Robin's like, so I consider like my 4 acres, that's what I'm passing down to my children. Cody's 4 acres, that's more about all the children. And then she says, that's how I see it. Is that how you see it? Cody, not really. You had one job, Cody. He flubbed it up again. Remember, when they were at Mary's house, he was supposed to pretend like he was sad that Mary was going to spend more time in Parowan. He couldn't do it. Now, he is not picking up what Robin is putting down, and she's not happy about it. She's pissed. Now, it's not that I think they practice this at home. I think as the conversation is happening, manipulative Robin was able to come up with something that she thought made more sense, like to get Mary off of the why do I only get 2 acres train, right? So, like Cody's 4 acres, that's really about all of the kids. So that's what's going on there. And then Cody's like, no. Not really. I don't see it that way. So Mary said, well, how do you see it? And before Cody can screw things up even further, Robin shuts him down. Oh, yeah. It was a master class. She, this woman, this meek woman who really just... I obey my husband. He's the leader. And I just treat him like my best customer. She proved to all of us in this moment who's the boss. Yeah. Spoiler alert, not Cody. Robin will not let him say another word. Mary says, well, how do you see it, Cody? And Robin goes, no, don't answer that. You don't answer that right now because you're in a headspace that's not cool. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. But she just needed to say something to shut him down in such a clear and concise way that even thick-headed Cody would catch on to what she was doing. This is her saying, Cody, shut the f*** up. You're an idiot, and you're about to screw us out of 4 acres of land if you don't shut your mouth. That's what I think. So Cody says, well, what are you thinking, Mare? And Mary goes, well, with Christine gone, I was wondering if I could get her property because Janelle and Robin each have 4 acres, and then I would also have 4 acres. Cody, I'm not thinking that. Yeah, we know. And Mary goes, okay, yeah, understood. In her confessional, she goes, oh, I understand what he's saying. It's the same old, same old. I only have 1 child. Now I'm not a wife. Yeah, then ask him why. This is what annoys me. She's telling us all of this in a confessional later. But there at the picnic table, she should have said, why is that not what you're thinking, Cody? That seems fair. The 3 women who are left each have 4 acres. You have 2. And the 4 with Robin, basically. 6 between the 2 of you. But instead of that, Mary just said, okay, is this a good time to drop a bomb? And then TLC has us cut over to Christine and Janelle. Leaving us on a little cliffhanger there, we are playing garbage can frisbee with Christine's little brothers and having a barbecue. And then Christine's brothers ask her some hard-hitting questions about why she left Cody. She lists many reasons, not the least of which is that Cody wanted his name off of her mortgage for her house so that he could be on a mortgage with, you guessed it, Robin. For their house. Christine goes, it's not like it mattered. He never made a mortgage payment anyway. I always made the payments. But it was really hard that he only wanted to be on the mortgage papers with Robin. In his confessional, Cody goes, it wasn't about that at all. I needed to refinance, etc. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't about him wanting to not be on with Christine. It was probably they couldn't get the loan for the house if he was already beholden to pay off a different mortgage, right? I'm sure it was just a financial thing. Then Christine tells us that Cody's name is on every parcel at Coyote Pass. She's not sure if Robin's name is also on every piece, but Robin's name is also on Christine's. So that 2 acres that Christine gave up the right to, the ownership of that 2 acres is or was Christine, Cody, and Robin. All 3 of their names are on that one. It's really weird. And even Janelle in her confessional said, I don't have anything free and clear in my own name. I'm jointly titled on these pieces with other family members. So even on Janelle's 4 acres, I think Cody and Robin are on hers too. It's really weird how they did it. And again, since nothing really is parceled out, I don't think, or maybe it is legally, deed-wise or whatever. I don't know. I told you guys this was confusing for me, so I could be getting some of this wrong. Please don't take any information here as the gospel truth. It's just this is how I understand it, and I don't understand it very well. In Cody's confessional, he said, we all have the same problem that Janelle has. Our assets are all combined. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, because you used to be one family. Christine is telling her brothers that the day she kicked Cody out of her house, she took her life back and she became stronger. In her confessional, she said, I'm telling my brothers, but I'm also saying this for Janelle's benefit as well. Not that I want her to leave Cody or that she has to do everything the way I did it or whatever, but I just want her to know how good it has been for me. Now, Janelle still has the dilemma of still believing in their faith. And that makes her still spiritually married to Cody. Okay, back at Coyote Pass. Mary's bomb, and this is so weird because I feel like in mid-sentence, she backed out of what she was going to say. Because what she does say is not a bomb. Her bomb is, I was at the B&B last weekend, and pause for dramatic effect. It needs me. Okay. The B&B needs Mary. That's the big bombshell. Cody and Robin actually look perplexed, like they are waiting for the bombshell, you know? Robin, what does that mean, Mary? And Mary goes, it means that I'm probably not going to be renewing my lease here in Flagstaff. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Mary's giving up on the giant house in Flagstaff. I don't care how much money those leggings are bringing in. It's still a waste of money. You didn't need it. You never needed it. And also, you know, look, I know we're going on a wild ride of time travel here with this show, season 18. But come on, people. We just had an episode where she told us that she renewed the lease at the house. Is she like getting out of that lease? Are we going back in time? What is happening here? And also, Mary still acts like she's intending to build on Coyote Pass. My question to Mary is, why? But like, seriously, why would you want to do that? Robin, is it just a temporary situation? Mary, I don't know. Robin, okay. Oh, Robin's puffing up her cheeks and getting all ready to try and squeeze out some moisture from her eyeballs. And oh my God, does she actually, is that, what? It's wet. Thank you, God. There's moisture. Oh, man. I mean, did she pull a hair out of her nose? Because she did kind of do something weird with her nose. Maybe she yanked a hair real fast. Something is creating moisture from the eyeballs. I don't know if she's learned a new acting technique. I don't know if she got Cody to slice an onion nearby. Unclear. I don't know if anything is actually dropping from the eyeballs, but the eyes look shiny. Then we get dual cry faces, the one on Coyote Pass where she's actually crying, and her confessional where it's still the dry cry. She feels like her world is crumbling down around her, but I can't fight it because it's not fair to Mary. It's not fair to Mary. Yeah. Oh, as you might imagine, Mary ending her 32-year marriage to her husband, that's really hard on Robin. I mean, I honestly wonder if Robin at any moment thought to herself that, you know, I wonder if this is affecting Mary ending her own marriage after 32 years, as much as it's affecting me. Like, do you think Robin even thinks about Mary's feelings like that? Or is this just all about, like, how it affects Robin? And then Cody says, well, do you want to go look at the lot, Mary? What? Why? Why do you want her to go keep looking at it? She's seen it before. Has something changed since the last time you've all been out to Coyote Pass? Did you build a Cracker Barrel on her 2 acres? I mean, what do you want her to go look at, Cody? Grass and trees? She knows what it looks like. So Mary kind of confronts Cody about things that he has said about her and to her this past year. Cody doesn't like that because it makes Cody look bad. And he said, Murray, can't we just make it about where we are and not about what I said? Yeah. Can you not confront me about things I've said? It feels like you're blaming me for like things I actually said. I don't want to talk about it. So in her confessional, Mary said, a couple days ago, I talked to Cody about our marriage. A couple days ago? Are we like time traveling again? Or is she talking about 6 months ago when it was their wedding anniversary? I am so dizzy from the time jumping, guys. Mary tells us that Cody wants to keep everything he said private. And she said, but I don't think that's fair because I think it's important that the public hears it. Yeah. Yeah, you do. And she's right. What incentive does Mary have to keep Cody's secrets or to try and make Cody look good? None. No incentive. In Cody's confessional, he goes, we talked a couple days ago. Okay, so I guess they did. I don't know. We talked a couple days ago, Mary and I thought we decided to be friends because romance is off the table. Yeah, he doesn't want to be blamed. And also, romance is off the table because you took it off the table. You told her, the only thing I can offer you is friendship. And now I want you to be loyal to me by not saying anything mean that I've said. So Mary goes, how did I blame you? Cody, you brought up stuff that I've said and done. And Mary goes, well, I didn't mean to blame you. Cody says in his confessional, I'm defensive because I have carefully managed my relationship with Mary for 7 years now. So then at the picnic table, he said, Mary, I'm going to try to be as honest as I can without being a jackass. Mary, well, thank you for not being a jackass. Mary, oh, God, she still loves him. That's the creepiest part of this to me is like she still thinks he's funny and it must be those six-pack abs. In his confessional, he said, Robin has always advised me not to leave Mary, but rather to seek healing. And she's still doing it, in a way, against my wishes. Yeah, not in a way, just totally against your wishes. I know he wishes that Robin would let it go so that he can let Mary go. Anyway, he goes, it's like, stop. I have to be in a place where I can love her the way she wants, or she's going to move on anyway. So Cody tells Mary, this is what he's saying, where he's trying not to be a jackass. He tells her that she wants something from him that he cannot give her. And that is like a fully functioning marriage where he actually loves her. And Mary starts crying. Just kidding. Robin starts crying. Good God. Because this is all happening to Robin. He wasn't talking to you, Robin. Yeah, so Robin can't, she cannot take another minute of it. She has to get up and go for a walk. Yeah, she's off. She's off going for a walk where she can just quietly cry as she, walks around the retention pond. At the picnic table, Cody and Mary agree, like adults, that it's not fair to either of them to stay in this duty-bound marriage. Mary doesn't like that Cody is putting it all on her, like, I can't give you what you want, Mary, and he won't say out loud what he has said to her in private. I know Mary's hung up on this, but trust me, girl, he has said enough in public that we all hate him to a point where I'm not even sure we can hate him anymore. So, we're good. I don't even need to know what he said to you in private. I'm sure it was vile, but don't get too hung up on that. Like, he's not getting away with anything. America hates him. Oh, well, good news, Robin's back. Yeah. She has moseyed her way back over to the table because maybe if I'm there, maybe if I'm sitting there, I can stop them from finalizing this. Yeah, Cody is happy that he and Mary can be friends for Mary's departure from the family. Yeah, sure. It's just like seeing her off at the airport, isn't it? Safe travels, Mare. Godspeed. Have a good life. So Robin says to Mary, are you accepting that, Mary? And Mary goes, what am I supposed to do, Robin? And Robin goes, well, I don't know, but you've been doing something different for a while now, Mary. Oh, my God. Are you suggesting she hang on? Because that's what she's been doing for a while now. Like anywhere from 7 to 10 years, I think. She's been hanging on. So you don't want her to accept that Cody said he wants nothing to do with her anymore. You don't want her to accept it. You want her to just keep hanging on. How selfish are you, really? Mary goes, I'm not going to force someone who doesn't want to be with me. I'm not going to make them act the way they don't want to act. And then Cody very helpfully points out, oh, the acting was easy. Thanks, Cody. Thank you for that. Mary actually gives like the hardest side eye at that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And Robin goes, what's the act? Cody, just performing my duty as a husband. What? You never went to her house. Where were you performing your husbandly duty? At Robin's house? Because it wasn't at Mary's. Cody clarifies, it wasn't an act. It was a performance. Like, I'm not sure what the difference is, but he had to clarify that. Sorry, I called it an act. How is that better? In his confessional, he said, I'm willing to fake being in love with Mary, doing my duties as a husband. Again, what husbandly duties are you doing? Aside from like romantic husbandly duties, which we absolutely know you're not doing any husbandly duty. Do you take her garbage out? We know you don't shovel her driveway because we saw her doing that herself. You do nothing. I would love to know what you think your husbandly duties are that you have been still performing for Mary. I'd love to know. Anyway, he's like, yeah, I could fake being in love with Mary. I can do it. I don't want to, but I will. So back at the picnic table, Mary said, I know you don't feel like you're married to me anymore. And you don't see Robin, but you just hear this little whisper. That's not true. And then she goes, Cody and I disagree on this. Why do you even have a say in whether your husband is in love with Mary? He says he's not. You can disagree all you want, but he's the one that has to be married to Mary, not you. So that kind of pisses Cody off. And he looks at Robin and he said, this is the agreement that you required of me in order to get married. This sacred covenant that I gave you, Robin, that if I'm ever not in love with you, I won't just sit there and be in a pathetic place with you like I am with Mary, which is the unspoken part. That's interesting that in order to get married, the thing that she made him promise was that if he ever wasn't in love with her, he would just let her go and not just hang on. Is that a plural marriage thing? Is that a polygamous thing? Because I think it's a weird thing to say. Maybe it is, because marriage is forever. That sacred covenant is forever, and you can't really get divorced the way monogamous couples can. So maybe it is. I don't know. But good Lord, Mary has to tell Robin to let it go. Yeah, Mary is comforting Robin because Mary's marriage is ending. Mary's like, Robin, it's not fair to either of us. And then Mary reaches out her hand across the picnic table, and Robin, through tears, or, dry crying, reaches out to grab Mary's hand with, you guessed it, her matching chunky horse ring. Robin has a matching ring to Cody's chunky horse ring that replaced the clatter ring that was symbolic of his marriage to all the wives. This is Robin who, and people that have done more research than I have, I've learned that it's a David Yurman and it's like a $6,000 ring, something like that. Anyway, it's just insane that they have matching rings. Like, could it be any more obvious that you two are just in a monogamous marriage? Anyway, Robin reaches out with that hand and says, this isn't what I wanted. And Mary goes, it's not what I wanted either. And there's a pause. And then Cody says, it's not what I wanted either. Oh, shut up, Cody. Nobody cares. This is a moment between the sister wives. Mary and Robin hug, Mary and Cody hug, and Cody hops on his ATV, drives off. Mary gets in her car, drives off, leaving Robin alone, softly crying at the picnic table, all by herself. In Cody's confessional, he said, I hope Mary will find peace, because I know I will. Oh, thanks for adding that, you sweetheart. That's kind of you to say. And we end with Robin just reminiscing about Coyote Pass, looking at the mountain that held so much hope for this family. I will continue to spend time on my knees looking for answers. And oh boy, she just bursts into tears again, talking to, I don't know, the cameraman, the mountain, the retention pond. I don't know. I just wanted to sit on the porch with my sister wives on this property with our kids and our grandkids. I don't understand. Oh. Where'd Cody go with the onions? And that is the end of season 18, you guys. Good job, Robin. Good job. Next week begins the one-on-one interviews. We see a little preview, and it's not together. I really, I knew this. I knew I wouldn't get what I want, but what I really wanted was to have the whole family together. I would love to see Cody answering questions, being put on the spot and having to look at somebody face to face. I think we all deserve that. I think Mary deserves it. I think some of these wives deserve it. And I also would like the kids to be there, the older kids, because they deserve a conversation with Cody. And possibly most of all, I wish the basement children would be there. The Gypsy Rose basement children, the children of the Cracker Barrel, I wish they could be there on the couch with their other siblings so that those other siblings could tell them to their face how much they miss them and that they could have a relationship with each other. Because really, the kids deserve that. No matter what their parents do, it's not fair to them. So that would be nice. But no, alas, we are not getting that. We're getting the one-on-ones. Those are still going to be good. And if last year is any indication, that's when we heard about the boys wanting to get their pencils wet, okay? So a lot of good stuff comes out of these one-on-ones too. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. I cannot wait for next week. If you liked this recap, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you click on the bell icon down in the corner, you will be notified every time I post something new here on my channel. A reminder that if you happen to be an Amazon shopper, and if you click on any one of the items that I have listed down in the description box below, that will take you to Amazon. You can purchase whatever you want from Amazon. Does not have to be that item. And while you are logged into Amazon, I will get a percentage of anything that you purchase. So thank you in advance for that. And that's it, you guys. One-on-ones next week. I can't wait. I hope you guys are there too. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.